What about
There's
the
a
Northern
town
Lights?
I know where the twisters go called.
I'm sorry, we're doing this?
Yeah, ready? There's a town I know where the twisters go called
Bedrock.
Twist. I forget
What about the Northern Lights song?
I
though?
thought it was
What's that
hipsters.
one?
She turns my head around just like a twister.
Not as good as the Flintstones.
Do not make me take
True
a
enough.
Twister Alley, because I swear to God I will. I'll make you listen to that.
This is all going in the podcast. Hit the music.
Ready?
Twins.
Oh man, I missed my cue. It's time to feel the rage. No, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to say. Oh man, this is the worst intro ever.
Gotta start again.
No, I got this.
Time.
You know what?
to
I don't even care.
feel
I don't need the beat. It's
twin.
time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Twins.
And the Merman sporting his Deadpool shirt. Are you looking forward to the Deadpool movie?
Just a little.
I got a spoiler for you. Wolverine's in it as well.
No.
Yeah.
The hell you say?
What?
It's a true story. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on!
Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining a membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy some movie rental, like our favorite fan, David, did. And we'll watch it if it played anywhere in the world in a cinema. Now, let's get to raging.
People are still listening if they haven't turned us off by now.
Dave's here.
Thanks, Dave.
What would the amazing moment predict? What would the amazing moment predict? Will he predict the rage or will he predict the mondo? Here he comes now, you better watch out, kids. He's coming swimming to you.
Swim, Murray, swim, Murray, swim, Murray, swim.
Swim, Murray, swim, Murray,
Swim, Murray, swim.
swim.
Swim, Murray.
All right, enough of that. Hot. Every week. All right. Yeah, so there were 3 movies, 2 which were in main theaters, which I actually saw both.
Yes.
Yeah.
The other one's a special screening.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you still saw it.
We did.
I did.
Did,
But for different reasons than this is the first
Yeah.
time seeing it.
So the first one was the hotly anticipated
Twins.
remake, reimagining crap that is
Etc.
Twisters,
etc.
which apparently is a standalone.
Oh, it's
film.
not a sequel?
Not a sequel.
Even though it's got Spielberg's fingering all over it.
well,
Yeah, he loves sequels.
he had a little bit to do with it, but
He likes to make Indiana Jones movies.
yeah. Considering
Let me produce another one of them pieces of gold.
Solid gold.
Indiana Jones and the Scorpion's
Anus.
anus. Part 6.
he knows what makes money.
Yeah.
But no, this wasn't his movie. He just was one.
He put
of
his
the
name
Did
producers.
on
they
it.
make money? Did
He
that last
wasn't-
one do anything?
He was an executive producer. He wasn't a producer, which
Oh.
means in name only mostly. A few editing decisions. That's about it. Anyway, yeah, Twisters.
I might have to make some
which,
editing decisions on this podcast.
Judging by the fact that I saw it and I kind of know these guys, I'm gonna go with Double Rage.
Double Rage.
What?
Interesting choice there, Murray.
And then the next one is something called National Anthem that I never heard of,
Yes.
which I went to with Jim because Bryce flaked on us on Monday night for movie night.
I saw it.
He had no
Not with
solid-
us, you didn't.
No, you guys were
Just
in
saying.
Twisters. I'd already seen
Just saying,
Twisters.
movie night is our night on Mondays, and you weren't there, so
I
I had to help out my
tired.
buddy Jim.
That's
so
right.
I sat through it too.
Murray took one
What
for
do you mean
the
you
team.
sat through? We take one for the team. Wow.
If you had been there, I would have gone home instead of seeing
Wow.
it.
That's better.
Saying.
Jim doesn't need you to hold his hand.
Sometimes he does.
I like him to hold things. Of
I
mine,
think you
for
guys
sure.
probably like this movie. It had, a lot of heart. Let's go double mondo. What the hell?
All right.
Double mondo. That's bold, Murray.
Yeah, well,
Bold.
Wow.
as I've
Wow.
said before, I don't really care.
There's a town I know where the twisters go.
I'm sure it's hipster.
Called Bedrock.
Twist. All right. So, Twisters. Twisters is the story of a meteorologist and a tornado wrangler, whatever the hell that is, and their quest to kill a tornado by shooting a bunch of Tums into it. To do this, they drive into the path of the tornado, anchor their truck into the ground with a couple of pegs.
Yeah.
That's logical. Then they wait for the tornado to roll over top of them, at which point they release the Tums into the Twister. Not sure why the trailer that the barrels of Tums is on doesn't get sucked up into the tornado, which would probably rip the truck pegs out of the ground as well
No,
and
it's-
kill everyone in the vehicle.
No.
But the trailer must be magical, as that doesn't happen. So it's a magical trailer. So all you got to do is
There's magical Tums, too.
yeah, and it's magical Tums. It kills tornadoes. I don't understand
Tums
how
magic.
it's. I mean, it's not like the actual tablets. They kind of get a paste out of it. They make the tablets of Tums into like a paste. And they shoot it into the tornado.
Kinda like
and
a giant
apparently-
splooge.
And apparently that they splooge Tums all over the place, and apparently that kills the tornado.
Yeah.
That's the theory. That's the theory.
Yeah.
Leading up to the ridiculous climax are so many forgettable lines of dialogue and many memorable ones for the wrong reasons. If you don't face your fears, you ride them. I know it's in the trailer like 1,000 times.
feel it, chase it.
And if you feel it, chase it. That's another good one,
Hell, that
Murman.
means.
And that's exactly the next line I was going to say. Whatever the hell either of those mean, I don't understand. The writing in this was pathetic. It was relying on the special effects, which I guess were fine. But when you've got no just story that's so uninteresting, and you got Glen Powell, the most repulsive person in the history of cinema, who, as usual, makes this crap fest even worse. I can't believe I had to watch this untalented hack. It's like I'm being punished. I don't know why Hollywood is pushing this guy down my throat, but I do not like it. I do not like it at all. This was actually 10 times better than the original Twister, but that still makes it an undeniable rage.
Bing, 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 bing.
Murray called it. All right, well, Twisters.
Yes.
Now, what came first? The original Twister or the Fast and the Furious franchise?
I'm thinking the original
Anyone?
Twister.
Twister.
Anyone? That's also what I thought.
Really?
So, yeah. So,
Well, at
this
least
is
there's only
what
been 2 of them.
this is what started the trend in science-based films that ignore science and logic. The original
It's Twister's fault?
Yes.
Apparently.
The original was such a horrible film because I actually went back and rewatched it for the podcast, where everyone is assumed to be a complete idiot, and the FX, although good for the time, I'm telling you right now, does not hold up well at all.
What about
So,
that cow, though?
The cow was the best thing in the movie.
Because it looked like a plastic
It
cow.
looked like a plastic cow. So why did they make a new one?
Moo.
Oh, right. Twins!
Twins.
Or, as they called them in the original, Murray?
Sisters.
Right. The original was Sisters. So not only did they remake a movie, but they had a really
They
good
bastardized it.
title for Sisters, and they changed it to Twins.
And put it in the frickin' trailer.
But that's so that guy could go, twins! He was
Could have
really
went
good at that.
Sisters.
Nah, it doesn't work as well.
They could have had a person of color in there. They could have went Sisters. It would have been better.
okay.
I think. So, this iteration of twisting does a similar job that the first one did, in that it assumes that everyone in Tornado Alley is a complete idiot, except for these storm chasers. And in this one, it was terrible country music that in itself
God, there was so much of it.
so annoying. But what makes it worse is that this is 2 hours long, driving around after CGI tornadoes that appear to follow our lead, played by Daisy Edgar Jones, otherwise known as Kate. Because, there's a tornado everywhere she is on screen, which I'm thinking to myself,
Maybe it's her.
how convenient is that? And then throw in the repulsive Glen Powell, as Bryce has already mentioned, albeit he's
to
less
go away.
repulsive in this role than usual.
He just needs
but,
to go away.
But don't
won't
get
be.
me wrong, he's still repulsive. But thank God his and his crew are there to show these complete idiots that live in Oklahoma
Yeah, the real scientists.
how to avoid being killed by tornadoes. Because they have never seen one before. No, wait, that's not it. What this movie tells us is that this happens 4 to 5 times a day.
Yeah.
Wait, is there actual?
During the summer.
I haven't been to Oklahoma in a while, but is there actually anything left in Oklahoma? Because
There can't be. It's tornadoes every day.
because it sounds like there's 4 to 5 tornadoes hitting every single town, small or large, in Oklahoma. Because if these tornadoes happen every 5 minutes, I'm sure that Oklahoma probably does not exist anymore.
No, it's gone.
Plus, the science/physics, again, is nonsensical. With things that fly, they show a giant oil rig flying through the sky. Do you know how fucking much those things weigh? And yet, there is a team of wranglers that can hold on to things with their feet.
Yeah.
Or just try lying flat. You won't get sucked up.
Glen Powell works out, man.
He works out his foot. And you know what? Because if you were a giant oil rig, it's easy to pick you up. But when you're like lying flat on the ground as a wrangler, you're safe.
There you go. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Right? Am I wrong or am I wrong?
You are absolutely right.
Yeah. Throwing in science problem that has not worked in years, but then they basically solve it in 2 minutes.
Yep.
And a love story.
Yeah, they basically took the model from the first movie
Yeah.
and somehow got a.
I don't know that.
Well, no, but
blueprints
it
for it.
stands alone.
Well, no, it's Dorothy. It's
Well,
just the Dorothy from
but
the
it's
first
a
one. But
standalone
then she
movie,
made
Murray.
one.
It's unrelated.
But that one didn't work either.
They just copied.
So it took this redneck cowboy to figure out how to make her machine work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because he's a genius.
He's a tornado wrangler.
Yeah,
He
he's a
knows
tornado
stuff.
wrangler. He knows stuff. Yeah. So, this was really terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but if it's produced by Steven Spielberg, could it be worse than the original Twister? But then you add...
I think it was better.
But then you add...
really
no,
was.
this was... You know what? They're both terrible.
They're both terrible.
This one I actually did not like as much.
Really?
Because the people in the first one were not as repulsive as Glen Powell. That's why the first one was
That's
better.
true.
And
had
the
Bill
first
Paxton.
one had a plastic cow, which was awesome.
Cows and had Bill Paxton.
So for that reason alone, Bill Paxton, the cow, and what's her face? Holly Hunter. Who is it, Murray?
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
Holly Hunter.
Holly
Close
Hunter.
enough.
They're kind of the same.
She would have been
person.
better, to be honest.
Whatever. Both Twisters, be it Twist 1 or Twisters Ing or whatever this was called, this was a rage, and the first one was just as bad of a rage.
They're really awful.
They're really terrible movies. I remember coming out of we'll talk about this maybe later, but I remember coming out of the first one. I went and saw this with my wife, and we both looked at each other and went, that was a piece of crap. Now, over to you, Mur.
Yeah, I have 2 questions for the filmmakers.
What?
What was the point
Yes.
of this film?
No one knows.
And where were the flying cows?
Yes.
I also have one for the residents of, was it Oklahoma?
Yes.
I wrote down Nebraska, I'm not sure why.
Well, they probably were in
And-
Nebraska, too.
And Tornado Alley. Why the hell would you live there?
In this movie
Seriously,
universe.
buy an RV and drive to another state for tornado season. Like, if this happens multiple times every summer or whatever, it's called Tornado Alley. They have tornadoes all summer long.
But they're not
Just freaking
five.
go
They're not
somewhere else.
5 a day.
Oh,
It's the
not-
same
no,
thing as
it's not 5 a day,
Think-
but there's at least
but think
say
about it.
5 over
There's-
the course of the summer.
There's millions and millions and millions of people that live along the coast of the U.S., the east coast of the U.S.
Well, yeah, they
and
have
there's
hurricanes.
They have hurricanes, which are just tornadoes on water.
Go build your house there. Like, build it along the border or something. But yeah, I don't know why they would live there. Because you build a house and then the tornado takes it anyway.
It's because this movie is make-believe. This doesn't happen to everybody in Oklahoma.
The one thing I learned from this film was that tornadoes will do whatever the hell they want.
Yep.
And you can't stop them.
Yep.
Against my better judgment, I watched the original Twister. Mostly because it was on TV this weekend and there was nothing else to watch.
I watched it too.
I still don't get the whole idea of chasing tornadoes. Seems pretty pointless to me. The only thing I liked about the original was Bill Paxton and the Shania Twain song from the soundtrack.
And the cow, right? You love the cow.
And the cow was pretty cool,
of course,
too.
the cow's the best.
It's like, there's another cow. No, I think it's the same one. That was a pretty good line. Even Philip Seymour Hoffman wasn't Hoff enough yet. Might have been one of his first movies.
I think it might have been.
Yeah,
To say I
that.
dislike Glen Powell is an understatement.
Yes.
He's a cocky bastard who is in friggin' everything these days. He seems to be in awful remakes or sequels of a lot of movies coming up, including the new Running Man.
Oh my God.
And Top Gun 3.
Oh, kill me now.
Oh.
As for this movie, his character seems to be a mashup of Bill Paxton's dashing hero and Carrie Elwes' jackass know-it-all who actually doesn't know anything. Like, it was those two characters from the first one into one character. There's no way I believe a cocky redneck cowboy who shoots fireworks up a tornado's ass actually knows anything about weather.
But he was a meteorologist. He went to
Whatever.
meteorology school.
Yeah, what was it, night classes?
Probably.
Just those ladies on TV do the weather, just point at the invisible maps. That doesn't make a meteorologist.
Well, some of them are actual meteorologists.
Some of them are.
As a line from one of my favorite sitcoms, which you guys would never have watched, with Tim Allen, he pisses off somebody because he basically tells her she's a meteorologist. It's like, you can get all the information that you give people from a phone app. And he pissed her off when he said that, which is true. You can get all your weather information now from a phone app.
Well,
you don't have to actually watch the weather person on TV anymore. So, yeah.
But it's way more fun to watch the person on TV.
I don't think he knows anything about weather. I think he's making it all up just to get in their pants, which he never even did.
Oh.
No, apparently at the end, there was supposed to be a kiss, and there wasn't, because Spielberg said no. That was the one decision he made, was to have them not have a kiss at the end of the movie. Like, I don't know what that is.
Thank God Spielberg put that in there.
Anyway.
Yeah, no kidding.
Sure, there was...
It was the only good part of the movie. Is the fact that they didn't go there.
They didn't go there.
Well, they totally went there because
They didn't go there.
They did the whole
implied
thing.
it.
He drilled his truck into the white zone at the airport.
At the end, yeah.
So,
I know.
So he could go and be
I
with
know.
her.
And here's how I played it out in my
They
head.
didn't kiss.
They go back out to his truck.
It's gone.
She sees that he's such a freaking idiot for doing that. But dude, what are you doing? So she goes back out to take two. She goes back out, sees that he's drilled the truck into the ground, and says, "What is wrong with you?
You're an idiot.
Are you an idiot?" And then gets back on her frickin' plane and says, "See you later, buddy." Because,
Except the
you're not
plane-
very smart.
The plane was delayed because of weather. That was the whole plot twist.
She threw her pussy at him as she went to go aboard the
No.
plane.
They never
She's
showed it.
so,
But they
No.
never
yeah,
showed
yeah.
it.
She
I'm
let-
sorry. She would have seen that and said, "No, this guy's an idiot. There's no way." That's how I'm giving her a little bit of credit, Jim. Apparently, you're not.
Well, because of what she said to him before she went in there.
Yeah,
If you're, what she used one of those lines that he had.
I know,
If
she's
you-
being all kidding.
something ride it or something.
Yeah.
She said
You'll
ride.
chase it.
Come and ride
No,
me.
it said something about chasing it. Yeah.
Well, I thought it was ride me.
No, it
it
wasn't
was
ride
chasing.
me.
You don't ride a
If you
tornado,
see something,
Jim.
ride it. And
You
then
don't ride a tornado.
she walked away and shook her patootie.
Dude.
And he's like, I'm going to drill this hole into this white zone, and then I'm going to go get that patootie.
Obviously, he was watching a different movie than we were.
Yeah,
That's exactly what happens.
That's not what happens.
It's exactly how I predicted would happen, too.
anyway,
I know, but you were wrong.
I was completely right.
Yeah, so there was some good special effects and action sequences. But, yeah, disappointing
Boring.
Rage. It was Rage.
What's
Of
out
course
of
it
3
was.
rages, Murray?
That's the
Of course,
3
it was a piece
rages.
of crap. I didn't want to see it in the first place. That's the only thing that was out.
Rage.
The way it goes sometimes.
Rage. Rage.
You know what it was like? It was kind of like Past Lives.
It was nothing like Past Lives.
You know, it had a similar ending to the Past
No,
Lives.
it didn't.
They didn't kiss at the end. It was just like Past Lives. Is that now what every love story is for you? It's like Past
No,
Lives?
just the one.
Compare it
Okay.
all to past lives.
Gotcha. All right. All right, so anybody else want to say anything about this
No, let's move
shipwreck
on.
of a
No, no,
of
no,
truck
Another
wreck?
movie that didn't
No.
need to be made.
no.
So we went and saw a movie called National Anthem, which also had a rodeo in it.
It did.
Just
Two
like
movies with rodeos.
2 movies. We saw this is like rodeo week
Rodeo
on
week.
Film Rage.
That's right.
Hmm.
Looking for a title this week? It's Rodeo Week on Film Rage. All right, so in National Anthem, we have a young man living in a broken home with his absent mom and younger brother, whom he adores, and is ultimately, I would say, a replacement father for him. Finds work at a ranch where he finds love, his identity, and a new family that allows him to discover who he is, or who they are, perhaps. Charlie Plummer, as Dylan, is brilliant in his portrayal of this young man coming to life and finding his identity. The scenery is captivating in this New Mexico landscape. This new family, made up of queer folk who do drag and travel to queer rodeos to perform and live their absolute best lives. The story has deep, deep, deep character development and leaves you with a feeling that it's okay to be you no matter who you are. I absolutely love this movie. I loved everything about it. I loved the pacing. I loved the scenery. I loved it. Of all the things I love, I think Charlie Plummer, I have not seen enough Charlie Plummer, and I thought he was brilliant. I thought the whole cast in this was brilliant. I loved it. It was Mondo. All right.
Merman.
All right
You're up,
then.
Merman.
Well, this was definitely not my kind of movie.
No, but it had a rodeo. You love rodeos.
Drag
I hate
queens are
rodeos.
really not my thing. But I do like rodeo.
So it's Mondo.
I probably would not have seen this film, except as I mentioned, Bryce flaked on movie night, and I
didn't.
couldn't.
I
I
was
couldn't
there.
let
Totally
my
flaked.
BFF do it alone.
I was there by myself, by the way. No one else was in the theater.
That was by your choice.
Was actually glad I saw
I
this
was okay with it.
because underneath all the drag queens and cross dressers and colorful characters was a really touching coming of age story. I especially liked the bond between brothers. How Dylan stepped up to raise his little brother after his loser mom couldn't do it. The love triangle was interesting too, though it was quite obvious how it was going to turn out. I also have never seen a rodeo event where they put a diaper on a sheep, cow, whatever it was. Never seen that. So that was different. Yeah, it was a good story. While it wasn't a Mondo, it was a decent meh.
Nice.
All
As
right.
good as you're getting out of me.
All right, National Anthem. It had a gritty authenticity to it. It was very well acted, and the love story is just messy, which adds to the genuine feeling. Because
Love
messy.
story's messy, yeah. And super messy. Someone always gets hurt in a love triangle.
Yep.
Sorry, a bizarre love triangle.
Bizarre love triangle.
I only actually had one problem with the movie.
What?
I'm sorry, the kid.
ending?
The kid is annoying. That
A little kid?
Yeah,
CLF
the
was
little
annoying?
kid.
Yeah.
He's all right.
He was good.
He wasn't.
I love the fact
And
that he
I could sit here and pile on him for like ever, but I'm not going to. But
I liked him.
it is
I
the one
liked it.
thing that he literally took away from every scene that he was in
I don't
for
know.
me.
I like that he was, accepting of his brother's new.
Absolutely. I'm
lifestyle
not saying
and
that
stuff.
I'm not saying it wasn't
Most
well
kids
written,
probably
Merman.
would.
I'm saying the performance
He
lacked.
didn't like the performance of the
he's
little
a
kid.
kid.
Well,
And
there's
it's
a lot of good
and
kid
it's
actors these
and it's
days.
American film,
It's American.
so
There's
we know.
still good kid actors.
And it's an independent film, so probably didn't have the budget for a real kid actor. Probably was somebody's actual
They don't
kid
have
brother.
a budget for a real kid actor.
Probably just.
Well, it's pretty-
Anyways, he wasn't good, but even though the rest of the film was, even with that, the rest of the film was actually almost perfect. The performances that
All the
were in
adults?
this, yeah, were amazing. Charlie Plummer, as you mentioned, is Dylan. Yeah, he was. There are so many layers to this guy, and there are so many scenes without saying any. With saying very little, he told so much. Eve Lindley as Sky.
Yeah.
Never seen her before.
Yeah.
That was very good. Renee Rosado as I can't even remember his name, but he was the third part of the love triangle.
Oh, yeah.
That whole
Pedro Pepe guy.
Pepe.
Yeah, Pepe.
Yep.
that whole dynamic, that was so well done. And even Robin Lively as the mom was very good.
That
in
was
it.
surprising.
She
her performance was outstanding too.
I was surprised she actually grew as a character throughout the movie.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. That's actually another thing that left me a little cold is that kind of came from nowhere, her accepting of everything.
Yeah.
That's so I guess I got two nitpicky things. I'm trying to decide whether those annoyed me enough to.
Well, here's the thing with the mom, right?
Yeah.
Is that I think there was that epiphany that when they left her, she
get
was
that.
alone, and I think she did come to some self-realization while they were gone.
It's
We don't
awfully
know.
quick.
We don't know how long they were gone though.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It's not like
However
it's
long.
not-
We
it's not-
don't know.
It's not like he was in grade 8 by the time they came back. I mean, we got an idea because the
I don't
kid
know.
looked the same.
If the kids
Kids change like every day. You see a kid like one
I
week
don't-
to the next week. It's like, who
No.
the hell is that?
they had a
That's
hairdresser.
so and so's kid. You're like, really?
That's right. They
He
had
was a
a-
fetus last
They
week.
had a hairdresser at it, so they might have got their hair cut 3 times. You don't know that.
It has nothing to do with hair.
Just say over the
That's to
course
do
of
with
the summer.
kids maturing and getting older. You see-
8-year-olds don't look.
Oh yeah, 2 days later they look different.
Anyway,
Yeah, okay.
if
You don't know
she
anything
really
about
loved
kids.
the kid,
No, I don't. Kids are terrible.
if the mom actually loved the kid, anything more than like a week, she probably would have.
Yeah.
Started to
She
really
would
miss
have
him.
100%.
Nah,
It
don't
didn't-
buy it.
It didn't.
She wasn't an awful person. She just had issues. Like I've known awful.
Well, she put
parents.
herself as a priority over her.
Yeah, well,
kids,
that
is
that
what
was the
she
problem.
did.
She was a me first kind of person.
Yeah.
But again, she grew.
What? You're
Kinda
supposed to
like-
put your kids first?
Yeah, like you put
That's
your
the
dog
rumor.
first.
That's the rumor. I wouldn't know.
You know how you feed him and you walk him
Yeah,
and
that's
you give him
right.
sticks that he's not supposed to eat and shit
Baxter's
like that.
number one in your life now.
That's right. He rules the roost in this
He
house.
rules the house. That's right.
Yes.
Anyway,
Anyways, this is a very
she
effective
was all right.
movie. It was very, very well shot too. It was a beautiful movie.
It was Mondo.
he's not going to go there, is he?
He is. He knows. He knows the movie is too good. There's 2 points. There was not like the ending was bad.
No.
It's not like it
The
was
ending
just
was
one,
actually
it was
really
one,
good.
one person's performance that shouldn't suck the life out of the
And it
movie.
wasn't the main
And it
character.
was one small thing about the mom, which
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
All right, it's Mondo.
Of course, it's
All
Mondo.
right.
Absolutely.
4 for 4.
Yeah, Murray's 100%.
That's right.
Batting is it 1,000 again? I forget.
Yes,
these
it's
baseball
batting
things.
1,000. Batting 100 would be
What is a
batting
million?
1 out of 10.
What if you're batting a million?
You can't bat a million.
bat a million.
You
What? So
can't.
1,000 is the most
1,000
you
is
can
the
bat.
most
Out of
you can
1,000.
bat.
What? That doesn't even
Batting
make sense.
average is usually
That's not even a lot of
3
numbers.
something
It's all
or
on-
2 something.
Yeah.
Like that's something I could count to
It's a
in
baseball
a
thing.
day.
If you're
Like, I
batting
think
1,000, you hit every
It's
ball.
like
man.
1,000 at bats, and how many times you get a hit. That's what your
Well,
percentage
what if you're
is.
hitting 2,000 bats? If you hit
They
every single
start
one,
over.
are you
You
batting
still
2,000?
bat
They start over
1,000 if
again.
you
This
hit
is
it
the
every time.
dumbest sport I've ever heard
I
of.
can't disagree with it. I think it's boring as hell.
It's actually fun live. I don't know what it is about that game, but I could sit there and watch it live. I could watch kids play it live if it's actually organized.
Yeah, only
but
time I
Just
ever
don't-
saw
watch it on TV
Just don't
is
do it
just
without bringing a
bleh.
kid with you. They're gonna look
Only
at you.
time I
weird.
ever watched it live
Fair
was
enough.
our own Calgary. I believe they were cannons back then.
Calgary
and it was
Cannons?
like
Yeah, I used to
it
go
was
on
a
hot
May
dog
game,
day.
and it was freaking snowing. Like it was
Back
cold
when
as
I ate
hell.
hot dogs.
There you go. They had hot dogs there. Yeah.
They had hot dog day where you got free hot dogs.
Oh, there you go. No, it's the last
You had to
baseball game I
pay
saw.
Plus
$20 for a baseball ticket.
I think
No, they were
I
pretty
used
cheap.
to-
They were
I-
like 10 or 15. They were cheap.
Yeah, it was cheap, and I used to like skip out on my afternoon classes on Fridays during this when they were playing and go to the Cannons
There you
game.
go.
And one time we stole Bert Heffernan's towel.
Bert Heffernan.
He was a
Baseball player?
Yeah, he was a terrible baseball player. He was the worst. We wanted the towel of like the worst baseball player in the history of
It was like a
Sounds
guy who was,
semi-pro baseball.
was like a guy who
sounds
was
like a
destined
win.
for the majors. It was like the worst guy on the team.
Yeah, he was awful. He was so bad, but yeah, I got his towel.
He's a Heffernan, just like Mr. Mallcop.
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, Bert, I'm taking your towel," and that was it.
And he went, wee! And he
Picked
ran
it up
running
off
away.
the thing and then took it. Yeah.
Such a rebel.
You know what? Baseball just keeps getting more interesting.
Not really.
He just
Nah.
looked at
It
me.
really isn't.
Didn't even do anything.
He was like, what do I
He's such
care?
a wiener.
I'm getting paid.
Barely.
I get paid in hot dogs.
The only thing interesting
Probably.
About, only thing interesting about baseball is when they rush the mound and there's fights. Then it gets interesting.
That's terrible. That is not sportsmanlike
Or when the
conduct,
manager gets
my
thrown out of
friend.
the game and kicks sand in the umpire's feet. That's
No,
kind of interesting
that's
too.
not. That's
Those-
terrible
That-
too.
all of that. Everything you guys just
For-
talked
Everything,
about.
for
everything except the
upbringing.
actual playing of the game,
For
I find
upbringing.
interesting. But yeah, maybe live is better. I got a friend,
I don't know what it is. Live really is. Although
I don't know.
everything live.
I got
is
a friend
better.
in Toronto goes to Jays games.
Live music's better.
He loves to go see the Jays. He also watches the Raptors too, but no counting for taste.
There you go.
All right.
Wah,
So you
wah.
guys have something else, I believe.
What's
we
that?
do.
I don't know. Tell me.
We were invited with our friends at Cinematheque,
Thank
Calgary.
you, Cinematheque.
Yeah, because there was, I want to say, an amazing event. So, for those of you who do not know Jon Waters, first off, he is in my top 5 favorite directors.
All I know is
all-
Crybaby.
of all time. I've seen every single one of his films, and every single one I get a chance to see in cinemas is even more entertaining, because that's where you need to see cinema or films, is in the cinema. So we were invited to see Polyester, which is the 1981 film starring Divine and not really starring Tab Hunter, although he was the huge name.
Tab Hunter was in it?
Yes.
Tab Hunter was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to really understand this. So this came out in 1981. I wasn't old enough to see this when it came out, and I had to wait a little bit longer. But they also didn't have it in Odorama when I first got to see this. So this was an experience I've been waiting almost my entire life to experience. So Cinematheque
They rigged it up, did they?
an amazing job by hooking us up with Odorama. And this was probably the most fun I've ever had in a cinema in my entire life. This was...
Wow.
It was. Like, I mean,
enjoyed it.
I'm not saying...
Not as much as him, apparently.
I'm not like, I mean, I loved every scene of this movie. Divine is
movie's
brilliant in this. The comedy, like,
Oh, it's so funny.
Jon Waters sticking his tongue so deep into his cheek, poking fun at suburbia, was just beyond hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But then on top of that, throw in every once in a while and throwing a number up on the screen where you got to scratch and sniff. I couldn't stop laughing through this entire movie. Everything about this is beautiful.
It was a good time.
Okay, you talk about it for a second, because I'm going to get emotional. That's how much
Oh
fun I
yeah,
had in this.
you go ahead and get emotional there, Jim.
No, just give me a minute. I want to go ahead, say some more fascinating things.
Some fascinating things. No, this was I thank Cinematheque so much for inviting us to this. This was an experience that I thought I would never ever have, and seeing this in Odorama was amazing. Everything from flowers to farts you got to smell. It was spectacular. Jon Waters, everything he makes is thought provoking. Even when he went a little mainstream, it was still thought provoking stuff. And Jon Waters is movies are always worth watching. And if anybody ever gets a chance to watch this in Odorama, Polyester is well worth whatever they charge you. just buy the ticket. It is such a good time.
Now, I just want to tell a little bit about Cinematheque's story, because we would hang out with Cinematheque before COVID hit, and then just like COVID kicked the nuts out of everybody, it kicked the nut, and it still is kicking the nuts out of cinema in our fair seat. I'm not sure about everybody else's, but I'm just going to tell you a little bit about Cinematheque in just what their values are, regardless of shifting priorities and forces. Our core values remain strong and intact. Acknowledging the tensions and interplay between these core values, we will curate purposefully, create and engage a film-going community, and be sustainable and responsible. This is an amazing organization, and for those of you who are listening in Calgary, please go check out Cinematheque and go see some of their upcoming films, because they are not afraid to play stuff that pushes boundaries. Upcoming, their next release is actually Conan the Barbarian with the one and only Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, yeah.
August the 1st, I think, which is next weekend.
And if they just continue to bring these amazing films, it's worth... You know what? I'm not someone that normally likes to go back to the cinema to rewatch films,
movies,
because there's too many new releases that we want to see. But when you get an opportunity to see a film like Polyester, or like for a lot of people who've never seen Conan the Barbarian in cinema, it's so worth it seeing it. So check it out, everybody. And their website is calgarycinema.org. So check it out.
Say hi to our buddy Spencer.
Yeah.
Go. Big guy in a beard. Can't miss him. Awesome dude. Yeah, support them. They're cool.
Oh, baby.
All right. Of course, this weekend, my most highly anticipated film of the year comes out. Deadpool and Wolverine. I have
That's this week?
So excited. I've had a permanent joygasm for the past month. Watching the trailers,
it can't live up to your
commercials.
expectations, Mur.
I think it will.
All right.
I'm pretty positive it will.
Trailers and commercials and talk show appearances. FYI, Rai and Hugh are guest hosting Jimmy Kimmel on July 24th. That would be
Sorry,
tonight.
can you be more specific? What's a Rai?
Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, who's Hugh? Hugh Grant?
Hugh Jackman.
Oh, darn.
Deadpool and Wolverine are hosting Jimmy Kimmel's show. Anyway,
it'd be cooler if Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Grant were hosting.
maybe he'll do the next one with him.
Maybe.
This week, I'm not going to talk about Ryan Reynolds, which I'm sure Bryce is happy about.
Thank God.
What?
I am, however, going to give a little love to his co-star, Hugh Jackman.
Nice.
In addition to Twister being on TV last weekend, there also seemed to be a large number of Hugh Jackman films. Just every time I turn the TV on, I'm like, oh, there's another one of his. So I did a little bit of binging for the huge one.
All right. What'd you watch?
Not familiar with his work, his films include every X-Men and Wolverine movie,
Okay.
The Greatest Showman,
Yes.
Les Mis,
Yeah.
Real Steel, The Prestige, and many others.
I like The Prestige.
And I watched Les Mis, Greatest Showman, and The Wolverine.
Nice.
Like the
It was on
Wolverine.
TV.
Like
I don't
Logan
have
better.
a huge DVD collection of his.
Loved Logan.
Anyway,
Me too.
I don't have that one, but I've seen it. Anyway, he's also an accomplished Broadway performer and a talented singer and dancer. He's won a Grammy.
Accomplished.
He's won a Grammy, an Emmy, and a Tony Award.
Has he really?
Yes, he has.
I wouldn't know.
He's been nominated for an Oscar, so he's just that close to being an EGOT.
Yeah, well.
True, almost all of the Wolverine movies were pretty bad. But that was not on Jackman. He acted the hell out of those bad scripts and kept Wolverine alive for 24 years.
Really? That's 24 years since the
24
first?
years since the first one.
Holy moly!
That's a long time.
I know. When I watched Les Mis, I was bawling my face off at the end, like I always do.
I bawl when I watch that movie too.
Yeah, me too.
cast
It's
for that
so
reason-
painful.
Shut up. The cast in that film: Anne Hathaway, Amanda Seyfried, Eddie Redmayne, and Jackman, and yes, even Russell Crowe. I love the crap out of that movie. I don't care what you guys say.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Fight for it, Murray.
Greatest Showman was
Shouldn't care.
Greatest Showman was also pretty good too. Though I'm not really a circus type person.
Yeah, it's weird.
I
I'm a
also
super
watched
circus
Wolverine,
person.
which was probably the weakest of the series and had way too many subtitles. But watching him kick ass is always fun. So, am I excited to see Deadpool and Wolverine?
Yes.
For a line from the trailer, let's fucking go! That's all I got.
Nice. That's money right
That's money right there. Sorry for the language. Had to do it.
Oh, my virgin ears are.
Temperature rising.
there. It's about the only thing on you that is a virgin.
Vision.
Actually,
blurring,
even your ears aren't virgin.
No.
Rage. Taking over.
No, they're not.
Okay, my rage this week. I mean, it could be the fact that they remade a movie that was already terrible
Bad
to
in the
begin
first
with.
place.
It could have been that. It could have been Glen Powell, just because he's Glen Powell. But you know what I'm going to rage about this week? Is I think Steven Spielberg needs to retire. I think between the things that he's producing and bringing back, I am not impressed. And I've heard rumors there's going to be potentially a Jaws reboot and a bunch of other shit that he's now bringing out. Like, this whole nostalgia thing already annoys me. You know that. But you know what? It's when people like, his Dirty Harry dude, Clint Eastwood.
Eastwood.
He's fallen off the planet with his terrible movies, and now Spielberg's producing some of this crap. I hope this thing bombs so badly that people go, "Oh, we shouldn't give money to Spielberg
Sadly, it did
anymore."
not.
Ugh,
Didn't it?
I don't know.
I
Misters?
didn't look at the numbers.
No, it was like 100 million last weekend.
100 million.
Yeah, it did.
I'll go take a deeper dive when you're raging, Bryce. But yeah, my rage this week is, you know, when people have a best before date and they've reached it, I think Spielberg's hit his best before date.
Pretty sure Scorsese's there too.
Oh, Scorsese's way past his best before date. He's already starting to rot.
He's like sour milk in the fridge.
yeah.
It's the latest movie you got nominated for
Doesn't mean
all
anything.
sorts of awards.
I'm sorry. What did you think of his last movie?
It was terrible.
There
Exactly.
you go. That point has been proven.
There's my, and I think his movie before that was terrible. So
Yeah, it was The Irishman, wasn't it?
it was like,
Yeah, it was pretty good.
yeah, it was so original. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, it was like nothing I've seen him do before. Oh wait, can he
No.
do anything else
No.
other than
Besides
make,
mob and
wasn't-
casino
make
movies?
mob movies that have
It
the
wasn't,
same plot
it
and the
wasn't,
same?
it wasn't
Same
super
actors?
original. no.
You're an idiot, and that movie was terrible. And that's my
Yeah.
rage. You know what? I'm
It was
changing
a
my
meh.
rage just to Bryce, and
Bryce.
his thoughts on.
You change
On
your rage to me
Scorsese.
every week.
I can get behind that rage.
Rightly so.
He's too tired to have a rage.
I don't know. What's my rage?
I don't know.
Eh,
You didn't like Twister.
you know
either.
me.
Well, we weren't with you in any of the movies this week, so
How do we
that
know?
was
So we
actually
didn't
that
get
was
to
sort
experience-
of that was sort of refreshing.
Well,
I don't believe that.
excuse us.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, well, you believe what you want to believe. My rage. My rage.
Do you know that the budget for Twisters was $200 million,
There
Oh
you go.
my god.
and it's already made worldwide $150 million? So
There
I
you
have
go.
a feeling it's going to hit
Yeah,
its
my
number.
rage is that Twisters is going to make
There'll be-
money and there'll be
there'll be a
more of this
Twisters
crap
too.
coming out.
With more Glen Powell.
Yeah, Glen Powell's
you
got to
should-
go away
To
forever.
see the rumors of the crap I've heard he is supposed to be in. Like pretty much
And-
remakes of everything that was beloved in the
And-
80s.
and-
he's remaking it.
And not only did he drill the White Zone, you know what he's going to be drilling in the next one?
I don't know. What?
The Hot Zone?
His love.
No, that's not going anywhere. She sees what an idiot he is, and she's moving on.
I don't know. I don't think
Totally.
Totally
I don't think she's that bright.
So what was my rage?
I don't know.
It was
Why don't you go for Glen Powell?
that.
No.
It was that Twisters is going to make money.
Twisters is going to make money. That's my rage.
That's
So as bad as it was, people go to it anyway.
Yeah.
Plus,
That's
it was
the best rage I've ever had.
Plus, it was like the only
And it was so
mainstream movie that was out.
enthusiastic. I mean, I'm mad about that.
Yeah, I can tell.
I'm so mad.
But okay. So here's the thing.
This is my mad face, Murray.
I think Mr. Potato's a little more convincing than you are.
This is what makes me the most angry.
It's too hot to rage.
People are going to
We're in
see
a
this
heat
movie,
wave.
and yet there's movies that we go and see that
Nobody
are just
sees.
underwatched.
Well,
And-
for example, I go to Twister, and the thing is at like 3 in the afternoon, and it's 80% full. I go to National Anthem 2 hours later, so you should have a couple more people there. I see it alone. I was the only one there.
Exactly,
That's wrong.
and it's a great film.
It
and
is.
the first
so.
one is
There's
not.
one of those movies is worth watching, and one of those
It's
is
worth
not.
lighting on fire.
And it's a shame.
Yeah. So ultimately, your rage is at.
It's
not
the
everybody
same
has a podcast
rage.
like we do
Yeah.
that they have to go see.
That's
these
my
terrible
rage
movies.
that
It's
everybody
the
doesn't have a
same
podcast like we
every
do.
week that they don't put enough good movies in theaters.
That's my rage. That everybody
you go.
doesn't. They don't put enough good movies in
It's the
theaters.
same every
Murray,
week.
we better close this.
My
off.
rage is that it's the same every week.
Yeah, there you go. That's the real rage. That he's unoriginal.
Grrr.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Last week on Rage or Dare, the boys finally received the call. The call from our favorite listener. You know he's our current favorite because he gave us money. Cha-ching. David of Calgary, as he is well known throughout the land. And he dared the crew to see the 2016 Mexico, Denmark, France, Germany, Norway, Switzerland co-production called Untamed. David, you do know that when you dare us to see something that it should make us rage, right? This sounds exactly like the kind of film that gives Bryce and Jim mondo boners. Ah, well. This week, it's Bryce's turn to rage or dare. Yes, Bryce, it is your turn. Look at the website. If you don't believe me, you little imp. Sheesh. Come on, Bryce. Now, let's see if the boys will get mad at their new favorite listener this week and ostracize said listener by berating them about daring us to see terrible films that are actually awesomely mondo films. I mean, it is listed as a drama, horror, mystery, romance, sci-fi thriller. It also lists the following great attributes as its keyword plot details. Now, I'm not going to list all of them. I don't want to spoil the experience, but here's a little tasty taste to set the mood. Film contains female nudity, female pubic hair, human alien sex, tentacle sex, woman in a shower, creature sex, female masturbation, interspecies sex, gay husband, prostitution, man wears a tank top, adultery, animal sex, shooting oneself.
Yeah, I didn't know you see all that.
Yeah. Oh man, the Untamed. I mean, come on, alien sex monster that gives you pleasure until it gets bored with you and then it kills you. I love Mexican movies. Every single time I see a Mexican
And
movie,
it wasn't just a Mexican
I know it's a
movie.
Mexican blah 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 with 47 other country co-production, but it was a Mexican movie because the thing is, every time I see a Mexican movie, there is a uniqueness about it, and it doesn't matter if it's a drama, if it's an alien sex movie, if it's a horror movie. It doesn't matter. It's always unique. It's always extremely well acted. It's always amazingly shot, and this is no different. this movie has you saying, what the heck, from its opening scene. The transformation of the two lead female actors, Ruth Ramos as Alejandra and Simone Buccio as Veronica, is one of the... I was just blown away. I was absolutely blown away by this movie. Obviously, David was trying to do us a favor by making us watch this movie, and I want to be mad at him, but I can't, because this movie was not on my radar. I'm embarrassed to say that I've never seen this movie before. This was amazing. The fact that I hadn't seen it, thank you, David, for daring us to see it, even though it is absolutely the best. Is it better than The Greasy Strangler? Yeah, I think it is. This is the best movie.
Artistically,
it's better. This is those two were just amazing films. But yeah, this is like the greatest movie that's ever been dared us to see in this segment, and it completely misses the point of this segment, but I don't care, because I absolutely love this movie, and I will be watching it again because I'm sure I missed some stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
This was amazing.
So it was a what then?
It was a Mondo. Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
It was a
Super
sexy
Mondo?
alien sex monster Mondo.
All right. Well, you know what? No spoilers, but that might come up again. So, David, when you open up with a masturbation scene,
it opened with
a giant tentacle.
It was so good, and you're like, "What the heck?"
This film already has me captivated.
Yeah.
But then the next scene was quite boring, with man-on-woman sex. So
Snoozeroo.
I kind of see why you maybe thought this might make us rage. How dare you get my hopes up first with alien tentacle sex, and then have the entire movie has normal heterosexual and gay sex in it?
No.
You're horrible.
Yeah, but then it redeems itself.
Well, that's what I would have said
yes.
if that was the case.
Ugh.
With it being normal sex all the way through this. But man, this group of characters sure do love to have them some sex.
Oh man.
Between masturbating mama and gay sex brother / husband sex, they could not get enough of it. I don't even know how they had time to go to work. Old folks and young folks alike all are sexed up. It was only a matter of time until we reintroduced alien human sex.
Yes.
But even though there is a lot of focus on the sex, there is a deeper story here.
There's a lot of story.
And that is of trust and cheating and pretending you're straight to your wife when clearly you like anal with her brother. Now, don't get me wrong, anal does not make someone a liar, but being a gay basher openly to everybody and then having sex with your wife's brother is definitely not cool.
No.
I mean,
but he gets it in the
he gets it in a couple of places.
Yes.
But then we also get what appears to be an alien sex pimp who also, in addition, loves the alien sex.
She knows it might kill her, and she just has to have it.
Who also traffics the aliens' tentacles to everybody when she can.
Yes.
The alien, well, it might be aliens. I don't even know.
I think it's just one.
Thrive
oh man.
on primal needs and help humanity overcome their boundaries of what sex is. Get ready for unadulterated sexuality from everyone and every single thing in this film. David, I'm not sure that you dared us to see this because you'd think we would rage. Unfortunately, this is the furthest thing from a rage. In fact, one of very few films we are dared to see that happens to be a filthy, sexy, alien tentacle mondo.
Oh, just a sexy good time mondo, I'm telling you.
This was
brilliant. This was so brilliant. And just, so, like the sex is obviously up front, but it's just so well shot. And even the little musical interludes and just, it's like, I don't know what it is about I don't know where
Mexican
they're
alien sex films?
Well, just Mexican films in general. It doesn't have to be an alien sex film. It could be something like Sin Hombre from that one with the train and like every single thing. That one with the wrestlers. But yeah, it's like every time I see a Mexican movie, it's just so good.
So are you gonna play the card that I usually like to play? Then you'll usually go, Jim, it's only because we get to see these Mexican films in Canada because they're so good. It's like when I talk about Korean films.
Yeah, there's something. I still think there's something to that, and yes, it's the same thing for the Mex. But at the same time, I mean, they're amazing every time I see them. Like I'm so. Every time there's like if they have Mexican films coming up in any film festival, I make sure I see those.
Oh
ones.
yeah, we always do. Now there's a little bit of a surprise here because the Mur actually watched this. Well, he watched some of this.
I feel the need to defend our friend David here, who I'm assuming meant this to be a rage.
I don't think so.
I don't think.
I don't know.
David's-
Is he actually love it that much? He wanted us to watch it?
So David is an attendee of SIF.
Yes.
As well, and of I think Cuff,
Okay,
but
well.
so yeah, this was a gift from David by far.
Okay, well then I hardly disagree with you two.
What?
Although to be fair, I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh well.
So you didn't-
So you didn't.
It's a 90-minute movie. I watched the first hour.
Yes.
I was bored as shit.
What?
With all the sex
It was
that
a
happening?
Mexican soap opera. There was nothing. Like, yeah, there was an occasional sex scene, but it was just, this guy's married to this woman, but he's like having sex with the brother, and I'm
Yes.
like, it was like one of those Telemundo things.
Yes.
Except not as entertaining.
I
What?
don't think so.
And I skipped ahead trying to find where the excitement was, and I didn't see any like big explosions or spaceships or I don't know
Did
where
you-
the hell the
What?
aliens were supposed to like.
Did you-
There was the tentacle thing at the start of the movie, but
oh, there was some more
there was some more
things.
tentacles.
No.
You missed the best
You missed the
tentacles.
I'm
best.
sorry. If 2/3 of the movie bores the crap out of me, I'm not sticking around for the end. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna, pin my hopes in the last 10 minutes of a movie. You have to grab me at least in the first half hour.
And it did.
It did not.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
that tentacle was
I
grabbing
freaking
something.
hated it.
All right.
I hated it.
I had to stop this a few times to
Glad
It
you
was
guys
just-
liked it because
it was
I
so
hated
good.
it.
because there
It
was so much.
amazing.
There was
it wasn't
so much.
good. It was amazing.
There was
Yeah,
so much
well.
sex in this. I couldn't get through it. I had to
Yeah,
stop a
well.
few times. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I don't think there was.
I had to clean the pipes in the condo.
Maybe the last half hour there was, but yeah.
Okay,
whatever.
so because Murray didn't get to see this part, but can we please talk about the full-on tentacle sex scene?
Oh, that was.
Oh my
it just-
God! There was
Where-
a tentacle in every hole.
There's a tentacle in every hole and literally lifted up off the ground with all the tentacle action. So you're not only getting pounded from every hole, but that's actually what's keeping you levitated.
I know. It's like elevating. It's taking sex to a whole level. And I just
A
imagine
whole nother level.
I can just imagine this. Like, I think the reason that we liked it so much is because we do like things in every one of our orifices. So it's like a dream come true to us.
was
Like,
so
if you
good.
could, like, you think to yourself, if you could sacrifice your life. Okay, I'm not condoning suicide.
No.
But I'm saying if you knew that you could have every hole stuffed in a very pleasurable way until the alien got tired of you and decided to kill you.
I'm gonna tell.
Like, I think that might be a life worth living.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't understand why that they, especially Veronica wanted to go back. I'm like, why does she want to go back? She knows that this could kill. And then that scene happened, and I'm like,
Now I know.
I get it. It's worth it.
Exactly, it's worth it. It totally explains the whole movie. Murray, you missed the whole
Apparently-
telling of what happened.
Well, they should have told it a little sooner then.
And
They shouldn't have waited the
No.
last 20 minutes of the movie to
The
tell the
last-
story then.
If you get a chance, go see The
No.
Untamed.
No.
I'm
Yeah.
telling you. What
Yeah.
is it, from 2016?
16, yeah. And it's
Yeah.
on Tubi.
on Tubi, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh, really?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
nice.
Yeah. And interestingly enough, it didn't have one commercial the whole time I watched.
No, it didn't. That's why it was so
Nice.
bad. They didn't feel the need to advertise.
What?
Usually, if a movie's really good, just when it gets to the good part, they'll throw a commercial in it.
Oh, is that how it works?
That's my opinion.
I'm sure
Well, then,
glad they didn't.
then this would have had like a commercial every 5
seconds.
but it did not.
Oh, it was
This,
so good.
This movie was so
Anyway.
good. This
Loved it.
I wish I would have seen this in 2016.
On the big
I
screen.
somehow doubt
I mean,
it
my
was in-
screen's
I
big,
doubt it
but
was in
not
a theater.
big.
Oh yeah. Your screen's almost as big as mine.
We gotta get someone to show this on a bigger screen.
Let's we'll talk to our friends at the Globe.
Oh,
Now you can count.
so good.
Yeah, we'll do.
This was so good.
All right. Well, whew, you know what? I'm sweating now, and it's not because it's hot. It's because talking about the Untamed
Oh man.
has untamed me
Yes.
a little bit. All right, so you got to watch something for next week. Who do you want to pull from?
I don't care. What are my
You
options?
know what? I've got so many good things in my bag. I think you should keep taking from it. We haven't got much left in Casey's.
I don't care.
Oh, you know who hasn't had someone take from him lately is the Mur.
That's right.
I'm still gonna go with you because you got like 9,000 things in there, and you're
I
so
do.
confident that I'm gonna hate everything in it.
No, there's a couple things in there I put in there just to be nice to you. See if you can guess what they are once you get them.
All right, here we go. I believe I've only got one. Is that one? That's one. All right, here we go. I will be watching, as mandated by Jim,
That's
Fudge.
Fudge? It's called Fudge?
You're watching Fudge?
Watching the next Karate Kid.
That would be the Hillary Swank one. It was
Okay,
Miyagi
I gotta fill my bag quick
Miyagi
so I
and
can pay you back
Danielson.
for this.
There you go.
Oh, baby. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Extra special thank you for David and the extended Film Rage family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, our god of rage, from the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rage Our Dad. Put it on your social media pants everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, twist, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. That's it for this week.
Rage on!
Rage on.